back to another episode of Baseball in the Bible. I am Riker Dotson, here with my father, Ryan Dotson, and we're back for another episode. Glad to be here. What about you?
Glad to be here. We're here.
Yes, we are.
How are things?
Things are going good. Just got out of school.
Yep.
Wrapped that up. That was...
Summer break is here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Out of elementary school.
Into middle school. Yep.
So summer is here, which means a lot of downtime and a lot of baseball time and good time of year. So
let's get into it.
What do you want to start with?
I think we start with current events.
There we go. I will just say this too. We're coming off. This is the first time we've been back since we released the couple Parker Bird episodes. So just if you got a chance to watch those, I'm sure that they were impactful for you. But if you haven't, go back and check them out and then just share them because I think his testimony is just incredible and inspiring for people to hear. So I'm thankful to him again one last time for making the time to join us for 2 episodes. And so, but since we were with him, some things have changed a little bit, in current events and baseball wise. So we're just going to try to get up to date on standings and players of the week and all that kind of stuff.
All right.
Right.
Let's do it.
So we'll just work our way around the league, see who's doing good. I'll start in the American League. Actually, we'll start in the National League. And we'll start right there in the Central. As of right now, things could change today. Hopefully by the end of tonight, the Cardinals will be in first place is what I'm hoping for. But right now, the Brewers are a half a game up on the Cards and the Cubs in the Central. Still the only division in baseball where everybody's at least 500. Cubs, then the Reds and the Pirates, everybody all within 5 games right there. So still really good division. Cards are playing the Pirates currently this week. Yeah. And so good division race there. In the East, the Braves are still rolling. I think they're with the Rays as far as the best record in baseball. 8.5 up over Philly, but Philly has rebounded since we started the season early.
Yep.
They made the manager change, went to Don Mattingly. Not that it was Rob Thompson's fault, but sometimes that's just a good kick in the butt for the team to rally, especially a team with a bunch of talent like they have. And so they're back to 500 now, 25-25.
All right.
So still 8.5 out, but heading more in the direction that was predicted and expected.
Which means Dad's World Series picks are technically alive.
Still alive. Washington, Miami, and the Mets, who are still in last place, but even the Mets have started to turn things around a little bit, playing a little bit better with a lot of talent, so we'll see what happens there. In the West, got a nice race there between the Dodgers and the Padres. Dodgers are currently a half a game up. They're playing in the series right now, so we'll see how that series unfolds. Diamondbacks, a little bit above 500, playing good. Giants and the Rockies. In the American League, you have Tampa Bay Rays. Again, they're 33-15. The Braves are 33-16 as of right now today. So they're right there with the best record in baseball. They're 3.5 games up on the Yankees. And you had the Blue Jays, the Red Sox, and the Orioles. My 3 playoff teams from the American League East bringing up the rear. I mean, there's been some signs of progress for all of them, and then they take like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. So we'll see what happens there. In the Central, the Guardians are playing well, 28-22, first place. And then the White Sox, who nobody saw this coming, but they're a game over 500. Right there in the race, 2.5 games back, playing really well. Yeah. And so we'll see if that can continue. You got the Twins and kind of the favorites, the Tigers and the Royals, both there, still bringing up the rear. And then in the West, the A's at 500, 24-24 are in first place, a half a game up on the Rangers, and a game and a half up on the Mariners. So that division is still very much up for grabs. the Astros and the Angels are technically not too far off, but they're both, having pretty rough years. So looks like, Mariners, A's, Rangers, so you can come out of that. But that's it right now. That's your little look, updated standings as of today when we're recording this. And as will always happen when we record these midweek, by the time it airs on Sunday, things might be drastically different from a sweep or something that we didn't foresee coming. Yeah, so we'll see. But the Cardinals, pleasantly surprising, and the more this goes on, the more I'm starting to believe
we have a shot.
They're gonna actually be in this and hang around. This, these youngsters are having some fun and playing good ball. And want to address a little phenomenon. If you haven't heard about the Tarps Off crew, it's starting to sweep baseball. And so Google it if you haven't heard about it. But it started, a week or so ago, last week when we're recording this. But it was it was actually a group from Stephen F. Austin, the college here in Texas, was there for a tournament, and they started just at a game in right field. They all took off their shirts and they're spinning them around, and it kind of caught momentum, and people from around the stadium started coming and joining, and before you knew it, they had a whole section of guys,
shirts off,
young and old, out there, shirts off, swinging their shirts around. Doing some fun chants. It felt like kind of like a World Baseball Classic game when we talked about with like the DR or stuff. It was fun watching it, and it really kind of lit a fire. Playing the Royals at the time, it kind of lit a fire under them. They had a nice comeback that Friday night. They got invited into the clubhouse.
Yeah, they got luxury.
Ali Marmol, the manager, bought tickets for that whole section so anybody could come and sit in that section over that weekend. And now the Cards have kind of dedicated that whole section to Tarps Off. So if you want to come, that's going to be known as like the rowdy section where you're going to come, and no matter where your tickets are, you can come join that section and go crazy. So when we go to a game this year, we might have to go Tarps Off and go up there.
For sure.
And go join
catches on camera.
But it is catching on. Like I saw even at Tampa, it's happening. So you're starting to see other pockets of base, which is awesome. I hope it does take off. I hope other stadiums pick up on it, because it's just that whole WBC, Caribbean baseball style where it's just fun and energetic. I love it. And I think it would be good, because the cool thing about when you're watching those highlights and you're just looking at it, obviously the Stephen F. Austin players are all college-age kids, but you look in there, it's all young guys. Sure. And for baseball,
that's great.
It's important that they can somehow reach your audience, and something like that could help do it. That's not
the guys twirling their
it's
shirts.
Not the end all be all. Yeah, it's that eventually that's going to kind of die off, but things like that can help to generate some much needed buzz for the sport, especially in your demographic. So, a little shout out to the Tarps Off guys, and look forward to joining them and later this summer when we come up there for a game. So that's one thing that's happened. The other update for just got an update. Spencer Horwitz just hit a home run. So Pirates are leading the Cardinals 1-0 in the top of the second inning.
Dang it. So we're again doing this on Wednesday. So he's essentially catching me up with the game.
Yes.
Mid-podcast.
Players of the week for last week in the American League was Angel Martinez, and in the National League, Gavin Sheets. So the 24-year-old Martinez went 7 for 19 at the plate with 4 home runs. He plays for the Guardians, by the way, and 7 RBIs, including a go-ahead 2-run shot Saturday against the Reds to help Cleveland go 5-1 on the week. A switch hitter riding a 6-game hit streak, Martinez is now up to an 822 OPS with 9 homers in his second extended stint in the majors. Martinez posted just 11 long balls in 139 games in 2025. He's already the third Guardian to be named AL Player of the Week this year, joining Chase DeLauder earlier in March, and then Jose Ramirez the week of April 18th, which is that's pretty awesome. For the National League, again, it was Sheets. Sheets made late game history last week, becoming the first player in MLB history to hit 3 go-ahead, 3-run, 9th-inning home runs in a single season.
Wow.
And he did so before May's halfway point. He propelled San Diego to an improbable win over the Brewers on Wednesday when he took Milwaukee closer Abner Uribe deep with 2 outs in the 9th. Sheets then followed that with a 3-run homer weekend against the Mariners, including a pair of dingers on Sunday. In total, the 30-year-old went 10 for 16 last week with 4 homers and 8 RBIs. Pretty great week. He raised his season batting average 262 by 53 points and his OPS 896 by a whopping 206 points. Sheets is the first Padre to be named NL Player of the Week since Tatis Jr. in April 2025. And we don't have the highlight here, but Julio Rodriguez his was the play of the week. You have to go look that up, but he made another home run robbing catch against the Padres. And so pretty awesome catch. His no-fly zone for Julio Rodriguez continues to be a thing out there in center field in Seattle. So go check that out. So those are your players and play of the week. Again, the hottest teams in baseball right now, the best teams in baseball appear to be at this moment, Braves, Rays, kind of clicking, doing it differently, but both successfully right now. And so we're approaching the end of May, usually, Memorial Day or maybe even Flag Day, middle of June. By then you kind of know what you are. And so that's when teams start deciding, are we going to be buyers? Are we going to be sellers at the trade deadline in July? So it's crazy that we're already talking that, but you're approaching that time of year. So the next couple weeks are crucial for teams like the Red Sox, Blue Jays, Phillies, teams that, the Mets, teams with high expectations. If things aren't turned around by then you might see some of this high-end talent being traded off, preparing for the future. So that's our little trip around the league.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Want to get into our devotion?
All right.
We'll set the stage before you read it.
Okay, so can I set the stage?
Yeah, you can set the stage.
So when I was deciding our stadium for this week,
Yep.
I'll go ahead and spoil it. It's Fenway.
Mm-hmm.
So my dad took that a step further, and we're doing a Red Sox devotional. And on top of that, we just said, screw it, put Red Sox jerseys on the wall as well.
Correct.
So it's a Red Sox episode. Sorry, Yankees. We do have a Babe Ruth.
Well, you have Babe Ruth here.
Yeah,
Just
Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth, but it's not a Red Sox episode. We're not going that crazy, but it's Red Sox themed for sure. And there's a devotion in our book here about the 2004 Red Sox record. Going to read a little bit about that, but we have some key players here from that team. Johnny Damon, number 18, Pedro Martinez, number 45. Babe Ruth just kind of riding the ship here. Then over here in the corner, Dustin Pedroia, number 15. And so got some key figures on this great 2004 team. We're going to read that devotion and dive into that a little bit, all right?
All
so
right.
Read it to us, Riker.
All right, down but not out. The verse is 2 Chronicles 15:7. But as for you, be strong and do not give up, for your work will be rewarded. In 2004, the Boston Red Sox were one game away from elimination in the American League Championship Series, ALCS. They had lost the first 3 games of the series to the New York Yankees. No MLB team had ever come back from a 0-2-3 deficit in the best-of-7 playoff series. Then, in the 9th inning of Game 4, Boston made a move no one would forget. With a runner on first and their season slipping away, Boston sent in Dave Roberts to pinch run. He was fast. and everyone in the stadium knew he had been sent to steal. Roberts took his lead, broke for second base, and slid in just ahead of the tag. Safe. That stolen base supercharged a historic rally no one saw coming. Boston tied the game, then won a thriller in extra innings with a walk-off homer from their go-to slugger, David Ortiz. Just like that, their season was still alive. From there, the Red Sox didn't lose again. They won three more straight to finish off the Yankees, and swept the Cardinals. And they swept the Cardinals team loaded with the Hall of Fame talent in the World Series. Oh my gosh, sorry. After 86 years without a championship, Boston finally broke the curse. It's still considered to be the greatest postseason comeback in baseball history, and it didn't happen in one swing. It happened pitch by pitch, as the Red Sox refused to stop fighting. You might be in a fight of your own. You're logging extra time in the cage, but your swing isn't improving. Or maybe the struggle runs deeper. It could be some family tension or pressure from school. Sometimes it feels like you're doing everything right, but the breakthrough still hasn't come. It can make you wonder if your effort even matters. That's when we need to remember 2 Chronicles 15:7. God never promises us quick wins, but he does promise that our perseverance will be rewarded. Keep walking with God and trust that he sees your effort, even when the results don't match your expectations. Breakthroughs rarely come in a single moment. So that's the actual devotion. At the end of each of these, there's a dugout reflection. Usually we don't read them, but I liked this week's, so I'm going to read it. What's something that you've been working hard on that you haven't seen results from yet? Keep pushing toward your goal and stay connected with God while you do. When it gets tough, seek his strength and guidance and double down spiritually.
So why did you want to read that?
Just because it's just kind of a reminder that no matter how much you think you're done, no matter how much you think that, no matter how much you do, it's worth nothing. When you seek God, you are reminded that he never lets your effort go to waste. So it's just a reminder that A, to seek God even when you are putting in work, just to seek God in everything you do, and B, just to remind you that no matter the little results you haven't seen yet, just keep putting in the work. Something will eventually, you're not going to get worse from putting in work.
Mm-hmm.
So keep putting in work.
There you go.
So that's our devotion for the week.
All right. We're going to highlight one of the key players you mentioned there in that World Series. And again, it was an improbable World Series. Because in the Yankees, that was in the middle of their, I say the middle, it was toward the end of their dynasty, where they had won in 96, 98, 99, 2000. They were in it in 2001 and in 2003. Just a great run there. And they were, those first three games were just kind of like, it wasn't even close. It looked like this was definitely going to be a sweep. The Cardinals were in the National League. I'm watching it, paying attention to who the Cardinals are going to play, because the Cardinals got there, and that was the first time that they had been there since 87. So it was awesome. I was so excited the Cards were in there in 2004, thinking you're going to play the Yankees, and then that play happened. And I will say too, I'll say this to the end of time, I do think the Cardinals had a better team. Although they had this guy, which was Pedro Martinez, which is,
advantage,
one of the best pitchers of all time. But I still think the Cards had a better team. But once the Red Sox came back, it didn't matter who you rolled out there in the World Series, what team you rolled out there, nobody was beating them. The momentum from coming back from there was so real that it didn't matter. You could have rolled the great Yankees teams of all time out there, and nope, they weren't going to lose. The Red Sox were that, on fire at that point. So It was an unbelievable moment. Again, in that deal, they brought in Dave Roberts. So I was going to read a little bit about his season, because even though he wasn't in his career, we're going to learn about a little bit about him, his playing career. But he was only in Boston. He came during the trade deadline of that year. We just mentioned the trade deadline. So he was picked up from the Dodgers on July 31st of that year. Played in 45 games, batted .256 with 7 stolen bases. He wasn't even on the roster for the World Series after they won that series and they played the Cards. He wasn't even on the roster for that, but he was there for that moment. Kevin Millar gets the walk. They bring in Rivera's on the mound. Mo was pitching. So they bring in Dave Roberts, and like the book said, everybody knew the reason he was in was to steal the base, and get to second so that a hit could tie the game. And he did. And again, the rest, they say, is history. But it was one of those, people call it the steal of the century, just because
it got him on such a rally.
Got him on such a rally that they ended up winning the World Series. And again, that did break the curse of the Bambino, because they had been 86 years since Babe Ruth had been sold, traded to the Yankees. And they never hadn't won the World Series since then. And 86 years later, it happened. And so that still, obviously if he's thrown out, it's a whole different story.
True.
So, and the Cardinals probably win the 2004 World Series, but they did it. And so a little bit about Dave Roberts. I think if you're a current baseball fan, then Dave Roberts, the manager, as he's the manager now of the Dodgers, but he was a player, and that was, for all of his baseball career, that's what he's, from a player's standpoint, that moment, stealing that base, is what he's most known for. Born May 31st, 1972. Nickname is Doc. David Ray Roberts. Played for 5 MLB teams over a 10-year career, and then coached for the Padres before being named the Dodgers manager in 2016. He batted left, threw left, made his MLB debut August 7th, 1999 for the Cleveland Indians, and his last appearance was September 27th, 2008 for the San Francisco Giants. Career batting average of .266, 23 career home runs, 213 career runs batted in, 243 stolen bases. He has a managerial record with his time with the Dodgers of .966 and .589, a .621 winning percentage. Played for the Indians again from 99 to 2001, the Dodgers 2002 to 2004. For half of that 4 season, because in the middle he was traded to the Red Sox in 2004. Then he played for the Padres 05 and 06, Giants 07 and 08, manager for the Padres in 2015, Dodgers 2016 to current. He's a 4-time World Series champion, 3 of which as a manager for the Dodgers, 2020, 24, 25, and then won the one title as a player in 2004 with the Red Sox. NL Manager of the Year in 2016. So he'll be in the Hall of Fame probably at this record as he keeps going as a manager.
Yeah.
But again, one of those things, a lot of times, not always, but most of the time your great managers were guys that weren't superstars in the league. They may have played, they were good enough to get there, they understand the grind, they understand everything it takes to be a big leaguer. But, most of your great, again, Joe Torre was a great player, great manager, but very often, most of the time, it's guys like Dave Roberts who have, 10 years in Major League Baseball is awesome. Yeah. You're obviously, but he wasn't a Hall of Famer as a player, but he's turned into a great manager, learning how to handle all of the expectations and all of the talent. While they are loaded, there's teams in all kinds of sports that you can see where not everybody can manage the talent well, and he's obviously done a great job at that. So.
True.
But Anyway, we're not talking about the Dodgers. We're talking about the 2004
Red
Boston
Sox.
Red Sox and the steal of the century and one of those crazy historic moments. Well, comebacks, the most historic comeback of all time. But that moment, bringing him in to steal that base. And even then, Ortiz hits the home run and it's exciting, but you're still like, it's 3-1. No way they're going to win 4 in a row. And they did. And then again, Johnny Damon played a big part in that, and so did Pedro Martinez. So came back and won it, and they were unstoppable. After, yeah, they were. They were unstoppable in that World Series. And again, of the Cardinals' run in those 2000s, that may have been the most talented team they had, and it didn't matter. They won other World Series, but that one they didn't because of the momentum from that series and that stolen base. So those games that we've talked about, some of those games, that moment, that Game 4 moment with him stealing the base happened at one of the most, if not the most, historic stadium in Major League Baseball, and that happened in Fenway Park. And so Riker's going to read a little bit about the great Fenway.
It's me this time.
Yeah.
Usually it's Dad, but it's me. All right. Fenway Park, home of the Boston Red Sox. It made its MLB season debut in 1912. The first Red Sox home run was hit by Hugh Bradley. The capacity is 37,755. The surface is grass and the roof type is open. In no place on earth is the purity of the game and the fans' honest experience of it as powerful as in Boston's Fenway Park, dating back over 100 years. The legendary park has hosted the 1912 World Series, Babe Ruth's first big league game, and the immortal feats of Ted Williams. Boston's deeply knowledgeable fans between bites of a Fenway Frank will tell you about the team's legacy, the famed Green Monster, which Carlton Fisk slayed in the 1975 World Series, stands like a national monument in left field. Fenway Park is located in Back Bay, which is among Boston's most hallowed academic and artistic neighborhoods. Inside of the park's stately brick interior facade, there's green, real green, baseball green, monster green. After 2 significant fires, Fenway underwent a major reconstruction in 1934 that saw it become close to what fans visit today. Up, and up went a massive 37-foot wall, which is intentionally constructed of tin and supported by railroad tires. Its distance from home plate has always been questioned, and various measurements have never agreed. More apparent were the unpredictable bounces that confounded many left fielders, as balls ricocheted off the walls, colorful ads that promoted gem razor blades and life buoy soap. The Green Monster remains the unpredictable signature trademark of Fenway and perhaps all baseball. Until 2002, the 23-foot-high net flapped above Fenway's monumental wall. However, in a landmark move beginning in April 12, 2003, the space above the Green Monster was converted to accommodate the 269 barstool seats and more than 100 standing room spots. The new seating section was a smash hit and continues to be one of the most coveted fan locales in all of sports. An oddity for sure, Pesky's pole can be found in Fenway's right field corner, named for the Red Sox shortstop Johnny Pesky. The foul pole stands at a very batter-friendly distance from home plate, a mere 302 feet. Over the years, Fans and players alike have inscribed messages on the pole that remain to this day. Fenway, so named because of its location in a Boston marsh called the Fens, opened on April 20th, 1912. It was yet another jewel in baseball's classic ballpark era. In that day, the Sox defeated the New York Highlanders in 11 innings, 7-6. The park originally featured a deeply set single-deck grandstand and bleachers that accommodated 27,000 patrons. Its reception. Okay. Yeah. Among critics, paled in comparison to those received by more ante contemporary parks in Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. Sorry for my reading. Despite the fact that the Sox won yet another title in 1918, attendance at Fenway slumped, and owner Harry Frazee responded by holding a sale of his best talent, most shockingly, Ruth, sending his franchise into a decades-long tailspin that's often called the curse of the Bambino. Frustrated fans avoided Fenway through the 1920s, and serious talks about the Red Sox vacating the ballpark to become tenants of the National League neighbors' much larger Braves field were held. Despite Yawkey's best efforts, the Red Sox could not shake the curse of the Bambino. Through the three pennant-winning teams, 1946, 1967, and 1975, played but lost in the World Series while Yawkey was alive. It was not until 2004 that the Red Sox were able to exercise some demons by staging their near-impossible comeback, winning 4 straight games after being down 3-0 in the rival Yankees, to win the ALCS. They went on to finish the deal by sweeping the St. Louis Cardinals in the World Series. The Red Sox have since won the World Series in 2007, 2013, and 2018. And then that's it. So
you made it through. Job well done. There you go. That's Fenway. It's one of those parks. It is one of the most historic ones. Obviously, Wrigley, Yankee Stadium. Even that. I mean, the new Yankee Stadium, while it has some of the same kind of features as the old one, it's still not as historic. And Fenway is just, when you go there, you just feel like you're just taking a step back in time, which is just it's a great feeling. And so we did have me and your mom went there. Actually, the year you were born, your mom was pregnant with you when we went to Fenway. So you were in your mom's belly when we went there. But
all right.
yeah, but we did watch a game there. Took the tour there. Got to go up on the Green Monster where all those seats are that they were talking about, and it's an awesome place. If you're a baseball fan and you want to see stadiums, that's a bucket list must see type stadium. So at some point I need to get you out there to see it. So just the whole atmosphere that they talk about, just that I mean, that's just how baseball should be. When you're down there, it's just you feel like you're in, for baseball, in the baseball world, it's kind of sacred ground. You feel like,
For sure.
So it's just a cool place, great stadium, a lot of history there. I wish some of the, again, you mentioned they won in 2004, they won 2007. That was against the Rockies. 2013 was again against the Cardinals. So they got 2 on us. And then 2018 was against the Dodgers. But, great stadium. Great story, the story of the Red Sox 2004, you're never out, basically. Keep fighting, as you said earlier, even if you're not seeing results. So, anything else?
No.
No?
I think that wraps up this episode.
All right. Well, pray for us.
All right. Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for another podcast, Lord. I just pray that anybody watching this that feels like their effort is going to nothing, Lord, I just pray that you would remind them that you were always with them, Lord. And I pray that you would just remind anybody that no effort goes unnoticed, Lord. I just pray that if someone in the audience just has not fully committed their lives to you, Lord, I just pray that they would do that today. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. All right. Thank you, guys. We'll see you on the next one.
See ya.